Hello everyone, and welcome to my Sister Wives For You channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. It's truly over, and fans of Sister Wives who have watched Christine Brown's journey from heartbreak to what seemed like happily ever after with David Woolley are now reeling from the shocking divorce announcement that has sent shockwaves across social media, leaving many wondering how something that appeared so joyful could unravel so quickly, because when Christine walked away from Kody Brown, audiences cheered for her newfound independence, applauding the strength it took to leave behind decades of emotional turmoil in a plural marriage that left her broken, invisible, and constantly second-guessing her worth. And when David entered the picture, he seemed like the light at the end of a very dark tunnel, a man who not only loved Christine but adored her children, showering her with compliments, taking her on adventures, and helping her feel cherished in ways Kody never did. Which is why this divorce revelation feels like such a gut punch, because it isn't just the end of a marriage, it's the end of a redemption arc that viewers believed was real, raw, and long overdue. But behind the Instagram smiles and the couple's playful banter, insiders reveal that things were not as perfect as Christine wanted the world to believe, because while she proudly flaunted her love online, posting selfies with matching outfits, Disneyland trips, and sweet anniversary tributes, sources close to the family have started to whisper about the mounting tensions that began just months after the wedding, with finances, living arrangements, and even parenting approaches sparking heated disagreements, leaving Christine caught between the pressure of maintaining her fairy tale image for the public and the crumbling reality behind closed doors. And according to one insider, David struggled with the sudden spotlight that came with marrying a Sister Wives star, as his private, quiet life was suddenly thrust under scrutiny, with tabloids digging into his past and fans dissecting his every move, something he reportedly never signed up for. And while Christine thrived in the attention, relishing her new chapter as a fan favorite with endorsements, interviews, and a thriving social media brand, David began to pull away, preferring solitude over the chaos of fame, and that divide only grew wider as Christine continued to capitalize on her new life, with insiders claiming she wanted to launch a couple's business brand that David had little interest in, saying he felt like a prop in her ongoing public reinvention, which made Christine feel unsupported, sparking accusations that he wasn't invested in their shared future. But the tension didn't stop there, because family dynamics soon added fuel to the fire, with Christine's children, so loyal to her, reportedly raising concerns about David's strict rules and clashing personalities, as one of her daughters allegedly felt like David was trying to step into a father role too aggressively, while others believed he simply didn't understand the unique bonds and trauma that came from growing up in a plural household. And Christine, desperate to blend her worlds, found herself torn between defending David and protecting her kids, which created painful divides that began to fracture her household, all while Christine's ex-husband Kody, never one to stay quiet, allegedly mocked her marriage behind the scenes, telling close friends that Christine would never find lasting love because she was too controlling. And while fans may dismiss Kody's words as bitter jealousy, some now wonder if he may have seen cracks in Christine's new relationship long before the rest of the world, though others argue that his smugness only highlights his inability to accept that Christine found happiness without him. But the saddest part of all is how Christine, once glowing with joy, reportedly began to withdraw in recent months, posting less frequently with David and more cryptic messages about resilience, strength, and learning to heal again, which at the time fans brushed off as motivational content, but now feels like a quiet cry for help. And those close to the couple say counseling was attempted but ultimately failed, with both Christine and David realizing that the differences between them were simply too deep to repair. And while Christine is said to be devastated, insiders stress that she is determined to handle this divorce with dignity, learning from the mistakes of her split from Kody, which was so heavily dissected on national television, and instead keeping much of this heartbreak private, though inevitably details are leaking out, as they always do, because Christine is not just a private citizen, but a reality TV star whose life has been built around sharing her most personal struggles, and fans who once cheered her fairy tale wedding are now mourning alongside her, flooding her posts with messages of love, encouragement, and heartbreak emojis, reminding her that she deserves peace, even if her happy ending didn't come in the form she imagined. But questions linger about what happens next. Because Christine had only just settled into her marriage with David, moving into a beautiful Utah home, and even teasing plans to expand their family with more fur babies, vacations, and perhaps even a vow renewal down the road. But now all of those dreams are shattered, and the once inseparable duo are reportedly already living apart, with Christine leaning heavily on her children and best friend Janelle Brown, who knows better than anyone how it feels to walk away from a relationship you believed in. And as this news spreads, it not only breaks the hearts of fans who rooted for Christine's second chance at love, but also raises uncomfortable questions about whether anyone from the Brown family will ever truly find the kind of stable, lasting happiness they've all been chasing for years. Because if Christine, the one wife who bravely left Cody to find herself and was celebrated for finding new love, cannot hold on to that joy, what hope does it give for the others? And while Christine has not yet made an official public statement confirming the divorce in her own words, the whispers have become too loud to ignore, with multiple sources confirming the paperwork has already been filed, and it seems only a matter of time before Christine faces her fans with another tearful but resilient declaration that she will once again rise from the ashes. Because if there is one thing Christine has proven, it is that she refuses to be defined by the men who fail her. And though this painful divorce with David Woolley will break hearts, it may also mark the beginning of another unexpected chapter, one where Christine, stronger than ever, learns that her true happy ending may not come from being someone's wife but from finally, fully embracing herself, her independence, and the boundless possibilities of a life no longer tethered to relationships that cannot weather the storms of reality. And while fans may grieve now, many will also wait with bated breath to see how Christine reinvents herself yet again. Because if history is any indication, this isn't the end of her story. It's just another painful, heartbreaking, but ultimately transformative beginning. And as if the heartbreak of Christine Brown and David Woolley's divorce wasn't devastating enough, the ripple effects are already beginning to shake the sister wives' world in ways no one could have predicted. Because this separation doesn't just affect Christine and David, it pulls their families, their friends, and even their fanbase into the storm, with sources saying that the Brown family group text has erupted into chaos, with some members expressing sympathy while others are pointing fingers, accusing Christine of rushing into a marriage too quickly after leaving Cody. And even though Christine once declared that she and David were soulmates, some family members are quietly whispering that maybe she jumped headfirst into love because she was desperate to prove to the world and to herself that she could be lovable after decades of feeling neglected, while others argue that David's intentions were genuine, but that the weight of Christine's fame, combined with the complicated history of plural marriage trauma, was simply too much for him to handle. Yet either way, the end result is the same. Christine is now facing another painful divorce, and unlike her split from Cody, which many saw as empowering and even celebratory, this breakup feels like a crushing defeat, and the emotional toll is said to be immense, with insiders describing Christine as completely shattered, yet trying to put on a brave face, especially for her younger children who had quickly grown attached to David, seeing him as a stable and loving presence in their lives, only to now feel the rug pulled out from under them once again. And this, perhaps, is the most tragic layer of all, because Christine left Cody in part to give her children a healthier, happier home life, but instead they are once again caught in the middle of heartbreak and change, while David's own children, who at first embraced Christine, are also said to be struggling with the fallout, feeling betrayed that this blended family vision is already falling apart, with one source revealing that David's daughter allegedly told friends she saw this coming, and that the cultural and lifestyle differences between Christine's world and David's world were always going to be insurmountable, and those differences were not just about religion or fame, but about everyday living, with Christine wanting a home full of noise, laughter, and constant activity, while David preferred quiet evenings, order, and privacy, which may sound small but, in the daily grind of married life became major flashpoints that led to arguments that no Instagram filter could disguise, and while Christine continued to present a smiling, confident exterior online, fans who rewatched her recent posts now claim they can see the sadness in her eyes, pointing to subtle signs such as captions about learning to let go, or videos where David was suddenly absent. And though these clues were ignored at the time, they now paint a clearer picture of a marriage in distress, and the saddest part is how quickly things seem to spiral, because not even a year ago, Christine was gushing about being treated like a queen, about finally feeling chosen, and about how David was her forever partner, only to now find herself staring down another set of divorce papers, and critics are already circling, saying Christine should never have flaunted her romance so publicly, warning that by putting so much pressure on the relationship to be a fairy tale, she doomed it from the start, while supporters argue that she had every right to celebrate love after suffering in silence for so long, and that the real tragedy here is that even when Christine tried to put herself first, the universe once again pulled the rug from beneath her, leaving her to pick up the pieces yet again, and many can't help but wonder how Cody and Robin are reacting to this, because sources say Cody is smugly satisfied, allegedly telling a friend that Christine got what she deserved for leaving him and parading around with another man, while Robin, who once claimed to want the family united, is said to be gleeful behind closed doors, treating this divorce as proof that Christine can never truly be happy without Cody, though others believe this is just typical gossip, designed to stir the pot. Yet it still stings to imagine Christine's pain being mocked by the very people she walked away from, especially when she has worked so hard to rise above bitterness and move forward with grace. But Christine's fans remain fiercely loyal, flooding her with love and support, reminding her that she is more than the men who let her down. And while Christine may not be ready to hear it yet, many believe this divorce could ultimately be the push she needs to fully embrace her independence without looking for validation in a romantic partner, and that is a narrative that may carry her forward both personally and professionally, because TLC executives are reportedly watching this unfold with great interest, already brainstorming how Christine's second heartbreak could become a central storyline in upcoming seasons, with some insiders suggesting cameras have already been rolling during the most recent cracks in her marriage, and if that is true, fans may soon get a front row seat to the unraveling of a love story they once rooted for, which raises ethical questions about reality TV once again. Should Christine's private pain be packaged for ratings? Or is it her choice as someone who has built a career on transparency, and would sharing her truth help others who are facing similar heartbreak, or simply reopen wounds that need to be allowed to heal? And while those debates continue, one thing is clear. Christine is about to step into yet another chapter of reinvention, and though it may not be the one she dreamed of when she walked down the aisle with David Woolley, it will be one that forces her to look inward, redefine her worth, and once again rise from the ashes stronger than before, because if Christine Brown's story has taught viewers anything, it's that she refuses to stay down for long, and even though this painful divorce will break hearts everywhere, it may one day be remembered not as the end of her happily ever after, but as the beginning of a new, even braver journey into the unknown.